Okay, students, now you can see this was the slide which we had stopped in the previous class. Okay, so we now know some of the basic things like what are activities. Like I'll just go back. Okay, so activity was the first one. What was the activity? What is activity? Okay, then so just I'll start from beginning. What is PERT? What is CPM? Then difference between PERT and CPM. Okay, then we went to applications of PERT and CPM. Then network diagram presentation. Okay, or representation. So under that, activity was the first one. Okay, then under activity we had three activities. One is the predecessor, successor, and the concurrent activity. Predecessor is any activity that is done before the present activity. Okay, that is predecessor. Successor is any activity that will be done after whatever activity you are doing now. That is a successor. Concurrent activity, simultaneously multiple activities are going on. So it could be 2, 3, 4, any number of activities that are going on simultaneously. So these are concurrent activities. Then comes under that not concurrent, so not three, four are there. So one is the dummy activity. So this is the dummy activity which is just shown for representation. Okay, it doesn't use any particular resources. Okay, so it is just to know the precedence and the succession. So there are network diagrams that need to be drawn. Okay, so to understand that particular network diagram, so you need to have this particular dummy activity. Okay, so next is an event. Okay, a event is a point in time that signifies the completion of some activities, and it is also called as a node or a connector. A node or a connector. Okay, so this is important. Remember, a event, a node, and a connector all are same, right? So then the events can be further classified into the following categories. So which are those categories? Merge event, burst event, merge and burst event. Okay, so that is merge event, burst event, merge and burst event. So coming to the merge event. So what is merge event? When more than one activities comes and joins an event. Okay, such event is known as merge event, right? So when more than one activities come and join at one particular node or at one particular event. Okay, so it is known as merge event, right? So then I'll just show you how it is merge event. So there is a node. Okay, there is a node here like this. A circle represents a node. Okay, then it's a merge event. So many activities are coming and getting merged here. Okay, so it is like this. This is a merge event, right? Then comes burst event. So what is burst event? When more than one activity leaves an event. Okay, such event is known as a burst event. So event, again, a circle is an event or a node. So from that particular node or a event, multiple activities are going out. So this is a burst event, right? So merge event, many activities come and join to that particular event. So on the top you can see I have drawn, this is a merge event where three arrows are coming and meeting. So each arrow is called as an activity. So there are three arrows which are coming in. Okay, so to a particular node or an event, so this is called as a merge event. So one more, burst event. So they are not coming to that particular node, they are originating or they are starting from that particular node. Okay, so that is the burst event. Next comes merge and burst event. So what is this merge and burst event? Both happens. So many activities come and join that particular node and many activities go out from that particular node. So that is a merge and burst event. Like you need to combine both burst event and the merge event, then it is called as a merge and burst event. So inside this particular circles, whatever we have drawn, that is the node. So you can use some a b c as the name for that particular node, or 1 2 3. So sorry, abc will be your activities and this will be given as 1 2 and 3. So node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, and so on. Okay, so basically this is called a numbering will be done for a particular event or a node, and a particular alphabet will be assigned, okay, for a particular activity. So usually this is done. So it is not that only you need to do this, but most of the times, or 99.99% of the times, the node is given by the numbers itself, 1 2 3 4. Okay, and activities. So if activity name is given, so you need to write the name, it is which is very, very tedious, and we need time and space. Okay, we need a very important is time. Okay, somehow we can manage, but space is very difficult because we need to do some calculations over there. Okay, so we don't have those particular space over there. So what do we do? So a, like this, a will be written. So activity a, activity b, and activity c, something like this. So it could be coming inside a node or going out of the node as well. So this is merge event, burst event, merge and burst event, right? So next, coming to sequencing. Okay, so what is sequencing? The first prerequisite in the development of a network is to maintain the precedence relationship. So before going there, sequencing in the sense one after the other. When I say there is a sequence, that means there is a particular procedure or a particular numbering, okay, which has to be followed. Okay, so that is called as sequence. So 1 3 5 is a sequence, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is a sequence. Okay, a b c d e f g is a sequence. So whatever activity has to be done. So like for example, a particular project is done and there are different activities. So it is not that the for example, you are building a house in that particular project. So first thing what you need to do, you need to start with the bottom. You cannot just directly go and have the roof, right? So even if you want to have the roof without the walls, you cannot do it, or without the pillars, you cannot do it, right? So first there are different things where you need to do the groundwork over there. You need to make the ground what you call strong, so that it can take the load. Okay, then the walls will be built. Then like it depends like what you are doing, windows, doors, and all those things will be done. Okay, then you'll be looking at the roof. Okay, so these are like on a broader sense, I'm telling you what we are doing. Okay, so on a broader sense this will be done. Like if you can further bifurcate those particular things whatever I told now, like the base. So first we need to dig. So there are further more activities. First we need to dig. Okay, then cement pillars, small pillars will be put over there. Okay, so that load could be put on it. Okay, then it will be closed. Then on top of that there will be uh, what you call the pillars. Wherever the pillars are necessary will be taken on top. Okay, then in between the pillars we are basically putting the bricks to build a wall, right? So to build a wall, again cement has to be put over there, or the concrete what we say. So for making the concrete, again whether you are getting it from outside mixed, ready mixed, or you are basically preparing it. So for that preparation also, you cannot just put any amount of cement, any amount of sand, and any amount of stones over there. No, you cannot do that. Okay, so there is a fixed what you call proportion again. So 1 is to 3 is to 5, something they call it. 1 is to 4 is to 6, something like this. So one part of cement, 3 parts of sand, and 5 parts of stones, something like this. I might be wrong, but depending upon what you are doing. So we are having this particular mixture. So whether it is the roof that you are using, or whether it is the between the bricks that you are putting the cement, right? So whether you are using for that, or whether you are using that particular cement for plastering. So all the different mixtures are available. Okay, so you need to know this. Or if you are doing civil engineering, or if you have done, or anybody in your house, if they are a contractor or something, or anyone is building the house, okay, or just they have built the house, you can ask them. So these are the basic things what they'll be knowing. So that is called as sequencing. Then precedence relationship. So what is precedence relationship? You are doing something, so there will be something before that. Okay, so the things what in the questions what they'll be given to you is activity, and the precedence will be given to you, or the preceding activity to that particular activity will be given to you. So based on that particular activity, we need to draw the network diagram. So in this slide you can see, okay, so there are some questions. What are those? So before that, precedence relationship. In order to make the network, following points should be taken into consideration. So what are those points? What job or jobs preceded? So if you're doing something now presently, any job is there or any activity that is preceding to this, we need to check. Then what job or jobs could be concurrently going or run concurrently? That means parallelly anything is going on. So in the previous class I gave you the example of a house that is being built at the which is about to be finished. So there are many activities that are going on simultaneously, like the wiring somebody is doing, the plumbing somebody is doing, like the floor somebody is doing, painting somebody is doing. So these are some of the activities which can go concurrently, all at once or few at once. Okay, so these are concurrently. So what job or jobs follow it? Okay, so now the after precedence, the succession we are looking at follow it. That means whatever I'm doing after this, what I'm doing. Okay, so that I need to check. Then what controls the start and finish of a job? So these are some of the questions, okay, that I need to know before starting with the sequencing. Okay, then we'll see a problem. So you can see on the screen, draw the network diagram is given. There is activity, they have given activity A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K. Then there is preceding activity. What is preceding activity? So this activity A, so before this there is a dash. That means there is no activity that is preceding A. That means A is the starting point. Then B, if you see, after A it is B. Okay, after, then C, if you see, for C again it is after A. Then D is after C, right? Then the duration is given. So here they have not mentioned days or months or years or whatever or hours. So it is 2. That means to perform this activity A, I need 2. I'll take it as hours, for example. Okay, so to complete activity A, I need 2 hours. Okay, to complete activity B, I need 4 hours. To complete activity C, I need 3 hours. Okay, and so on. The activity is given, the preceding activity is given, then the duration is given. Just a second, students, I'll be back. Okay, so now students, activity, preceding activity and duration is given to you. So just look at it. Activities A, B, C, D. So here just the name is given. Like for example, a building has to be built. So the activity will be mentioned properly. Like digging has to be done. Okay, then preparation of cement has to be done. Then some bar bending. Okay, so if you see the pillar, if they want to raise a pillar, there will be a skeleton of rods. Okay, in the between. So if you see, that will be built first, then it will be placed in the right place wherever it has to go. Then cement is poured. Okay, so these are again set of activities that need to be done. So it depends on what they are basically defining. Okay, so as I explained again, to prepare that particular concrete also there is a procedure. Just like that, you cannot mix any amount of sand or any amount of cement or any amount of the stones, or even how much of water to be added also there is a proportion. Okay, so you cannot miss that, otherwise your structure will not be strong. Okay, so whatever structure you are building will not be strong, right? So if you see here again, after D, so up to D we had only one precedence. So after E, if you see, I am having BC. So after completion of B and C, then only E will happen. Then after that there is F activity. For F, they say E and D. Okay, D and E. After D and E, only I can go to F. Okay, so these are the precedence activities. Here two are given. So it may so happen that 3 also might be given. So like the previous one. So if you, I'll go back, excuse me. So if I go back, you can see here, 3 are going in, 3 are coming out, 3 are going in at the end, merge and burst event. You can see 3 are going in, 2 are coming out. So something, so that means here, for example, if I give you A, B and C, A, B and C, if I give, okay, so this is D and this is E. So the precedence for D will be A, B and C. So after A, B and C only I can go with D. The same thing with E. E also will be having A, B, and C. After A, B, and C, then only E can basically continue. Okay, so this is how is the precedence relationship. Okay, so now you can see the question. A to K, we are having the activity precedence. Again, they have given what comes before what activity, then duration. So in hours, if I take, how many hours it takes, or if you are taking in days, so how many days it is basically taking to complete this particular activity. Like A is taking 2 hours. I told I'll be taking hours. B will be taking 4. C will be taking 3. Similarly, highest one is 10, which is taking J. J activity is taking the maximum duration, that is 10 hours. Okay, so how to draw this particular network diagram? Now focus. So how to draw this network diagram? So for your reference, I have put a small box on top of the previous problem, that is the activity, precedence activity, and duration. So if you see for A activity, there is nothing before A. So A is the starting point. So to start, so always remember, activity is a arrow. Okay, activity is a arrow, and a arrow starts with a node and ends at a node. Remember this. This is very important. An activity is an arrow. Okay, activity is a arrow which starts from a node and ends at a node. Okay, so starts at a node means I need to first draw a node. So this is a node. So I'll number it as 1. Okay, so before A there is nothing. So A is this. Okay, this is A. I told you A is a arrow. So this is A. Okay, this is A. So duration, how we have to write is, in front of it we need to write in a bracket 2. Okay, so it is 2. I'll put 2 here. So this is how we are indicating this particular activity, A 2. So again, remember, starts with an node and ends with the node. So again there is a node here, node 2. Okay, so this is node 2. So starts with the node and ends with the node. So this is activity A. Now coming to activity B. So activity B, when it happens after A. Okay, after A. So what is after A? A is this activity. So there is a node that is ending activity A. So your B starts from node 2. Okay, so your B starts from node 2. So if you see C also after A, so it is not one, that is, this is a burst event. There are two activities that are coming from 2. Okay, so this I'll give 3 and this I'll give 4. So you can number this later, not an issue. So you can number this later. So this I'll give B. Okay, so what is duration for B? B is 4. Okay, so I'll put 4 here. Okay, then C is there. Then C. Then what is the duration for C? It is 3. So in the next thing, I'll not put the durations because it is taking a lot of what you call space over there. So I'll put A, B, C, D just for your reference. We need to put, okay, you need to put, I'll not be putting. Just the durations are given here on top. Use that and basically put it in the bracket next to the activity. So C after A, again B and C I have put. Then D is after C. D is after C. So C is here, then D, I'll draw a line here. So this is my D, activity D. Then I need to draw a node. Okay, D is done. Then E. E is after B and C. So where is B? B is here, C is here. So what to do now? So these are at two different places. So what to do? So how to show this? To resolve this problem only, we have the dummy activity. So I need to draw a dummy activity, and dummy activity is always a dotted line, not a dotted line, line with multiple what you call spaces. Okay, so like this dot line. So this is a dummy activity. So there are breaks in between. So this is a dummy activity. Okay, so it doesn't take any amount of time, okay, or days or duration or any particular what you call the raw materials or anything. So nothing will be taken by this dummy activities, just to show that we are having from one to another place, we are moving after this. So if you see B and C is there, after E has to be drawn after B and C. So B is on this side, C is on this side. But how to show that it has crossed it? Okay, so you can ask me, sir, you have drawn the arrow towards 3. So why not towards 4? I could draw at 4 also. But if you see, there is already D. So it will be a bit complicated. You can draw here also, not an issue. Okay, you can draw towards 4 also. Okay, but what I should show is my activity E will be after B and C itself. Okay, so after this I can draw E. So I'll draw E here. This is E. And there's a node again. So if you want, you can draw it later. You can put the numbers later. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next would be 5 here. Okay, then 6 will be here. So E is done. E is after B and C. Then coming to F. F is after D and E. So where is D? D is here. Okay, then E is here. D and E is here. So F I need to draw. E is here, D is here. So how to draw again? You can use a dummy activity here, or I can do this here. F. Understanding? So you can draw a dummy also. Just don't take much of what you call how I got this tension. Okay. So you draw a dummy also, not an issue if you are not getting it. But instead we are taking too long. Okay, to draw that as well. So here if you see, if I do this, so I am coming to this particular node 5 after E only, then D is also before that. Okay, so this satisfies both. F is after D and E. Okay, so just a small change I could do so that you could understand better. Okay, so ballpoint pen, eraser. So instead of 5 I am drawing here. So what I'll do is I'll draw it bit further so that you'll understand better. So instead of drawing here, I'll take it till here. Okay, this is D. I'll draw a node 5 here. Okay, then if I draw F now, you will feel that yes, it is after D and E. So this is my F. Okay, so this is my F now. Then G. G is after E. E is here between 3 and 6, node 3 and 6, E is there. Okay, then G will be after that. So it will be G here. This is G, and there's a node here. Okay, so I could name this as 7, 5, 6, and 7. This is node 7. Okay, so G is done now. H is after G. So G is here, and this will be my H. This is my H. Okay, so there's a node again, so I'll be naming it as 8. Okay, so next the H is also done. Next I'm going to I is after D and F. So D and F, well, it's already done here, so I can just directly take it to 8. So this is my what? I. So you can ask me, sir, why you took it to 8 and not 9 here somewhere down? Okay, why you did not take 9 here? So why? Because you can see next one is after I and H. So H is here. Okay, H is here, I is here. There is nothing in between. So again, you need to draw a dummy here. So instead of that, what I did, I merged H and I to 8. Okay, so you have to check the next one also. So DF is I. Okay, DF is I. After DF, it is I. D and F is I. I have drawn I. But next J is after I and H. J is after I and H. So I can draw it like this. So instead of drawing it like this, I here, okay, then drawing dummy here. Again, this will also holds good. But instead you are making complication. So instead of making this complication, what you need to do, you need to join this I and H. I'll just erase this, so this is not there. Okay, so directly I'm drawing that particular part. So I am joining I and H. Then after that, what is there? J is after I and H. So this is my J. J will be here. I and H. Then K is after J. So there is a 9 here. Then there will be 10 here. and it is K. This is 9 and this is K is 10. So this is the network diagram. How to draw this network diagram? Using precedence. So one thing what students forget is they feel that this circle, this node is A. They'll put A here and everything is gone. They don't know what to do after that. Okay, so how to draw B? So they'll put a line here, then they'll put this as 2 as B. They'll go wrong for sure. They'll get confused somewhere in between. So always remember that activity is an arrow. Activity is represented by an arrow, and an event or a node is something that activity starts from and ends at a particular node. Okay, activity always starts at a node and ends at a node. And always remember there are no open nodes. Like for example, there is one more here and L is here and here is one more node. It will not end here. So it will start from one node and a network ends at one node. This is also very important. A network diagram starts from one node, ends at one node. Okay, so remember always these are the two things which are very much important. Activity is always denoted by an arrow and a node. Sorry, a network diagram starts at a node and ends at only one node like this. So there will be no L that will be coming out like this. So it cannot be like this. For example, if there is L here given to you, so what you need to do is I'll just remove it first. Okay, I'll erase this. So if there is L given to you something like this, so what you need to do is you need to draw it like this. It should be ending directly at L. This is L at 10. So this is how you need to draw. So there is nothing. Okay, there will be always starting one node and ending one node. You cannot stop it at multiple places. So I'll erase this completely. Okay, this is not there. This is not given to you. Okay, so this is the network diagram. So this is the rough diagram which I cannot help because I'm using this particular mouse here. So I have already put it. So this looks something like this. Okay, so you can draw this. So everything is here. The activity is given to you, preceding is given to you, duration is given to you. So there is nothing, only one. This one is there. Draw the network diagram. This is the problem. Copy. Okay, with the diagram. I'll go back with the diagram here. Copy this. So I told you in the bracket just after that particular activity, in front of it, in a bracket, put the duration. So in the bracket, whatever comes, it is called as the duration. So activity A takes 2 hours, activity B takes 4 hours. So which is also given to you. So you need to represent it in this particular diagrammatic way. It is called as network diagram. We are basically drawing the network diagram. So if you are not understanding this network diagram, you cannot do anything in this particular chapter. So in PERT also you need to draw this. In CPM also you need to draw this. Okay, so drawing this particular diagram is the base. After this, there are calculations which need to be done. Okay, so I'll give you some time now. So draw this particular chart as well. Chart in the sense this particular tabular column where activity, preceding activity and duration is given. Then draw the network diagram. So just let me know once you finish drawing all these things. And if you are having any doubts, ask me. Or after your completion, I'll explain once again like what we did and how we got it. If you want that particular explanation once again, just let me know, or we'll go ahead with the next problem.
Sir, explain once again.
Okay, finish drawing first, then you can focus. So finish everything, then I'll explain once again how we have done this. So make sure you let me know once you finish this particular the tabular column as well as drawing the network diagram. And see this dummy activity, draw it like this only with the dotted lines or lines spacing. There is a space between two, what you call, areas of the line. Okay, so usually we call this as a dotted line in general. Okay, so a straight line will be an activity, and space between those, that is the dotted line we call. So this is an dummy activity. Okay, so I'll just write here a dummy. If you want, you can write it. Okay, so or I have already given it there. Okay, in the theory part, what is dummy? Okay, so this is dummy activity. Okay, and these solid lines, these are called as solid straight lines. So solid straight lines are the actual activity, and dotted straight line is a dummy activity.
Done, sir.
Yeah, students, done with copying?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So I'd asked you to tell me if you have completed it so that I could explain. So you want the explanation, right? Once again, how we did it? Okay. See here,
Yes, sir.
I'll explain. Earlier there was nothing here. I have explained. So with the diagram, I'll explain once again. So if you see activity A, so focus. All of you focus here on the screen. So you'll see activity A is there. Before activity A, there is nothing. Okay. There is a dash here. If you see, there is a dash next to A for the preceding activity. Right. So when there is a dash, there will be nothing behind the activity A. And as I told you, remember activity is always an arrow. Okay, activity is an arrow. So once that is an arrow, and again I told you an arrow or an activity starts at a node and ends at a particular node. So first I need to draw a node. That is a circle I need to draw with one. So you can see on the screen the first circle where one is marked. So that is the first node that an activity will start. Okay, from there So a activity will start, that is an arrow A, and the duration in bracket is written as 2. Okay, so that is the first one. So A and the first one. So where it ends, again I told you it will end at an node itself. So there is a second node that will be drawn as 2. Okay, the numbering will be done here. So we have just completed activity A with, so if you see the diagram, it's an arrow where one circle, it starts from one circle, that is 1, and it ends at second circle 2. Okay, so this is activity A. So now coming to B. So B, if you see preceding, where is B? B is after A. Okay, B is after A. And again go down, check, C is also after A, and check D. D is after C. So that means I need to focus after A. So after A, how many are there activities? Activities B and C. Two activities are there. So two activities means it's a burst event. So I need to have two arrows. So one from 2 to 3. Okay, 2 to 3, and one more from 2 to 4. So 2 to 3 could be B. Okay, B, and the duration is 4. And 2 to 4 is C, and the duration is 3. So you can make 4 and 3 alternate also. So it depends. Only thing that we need to focus is the activity A, B, and C. The numbering could be anything. Okay, but starting it will be always 1. The next will be 2. Here now in burst activity, so first what they have given, it is B. So B which goes and meets, that will be 3. Okay, then C is after that. So wherever that particular C goes, that will be 4. So even if you interchange, there is no problem. Okay, so for this. Then next coming to D. So A, B, C I have finished. Next is D. D is after C. So where is C? C is at node 4. C is at node 4. It is completing. C is completing at node 4. So from node 4, D should start. So if you see, D is starting from 4 and it goes up to 5. Node 5. Okay, and the duration for D is 5. Okay, it takes 5 hours. So that line we need to draw, that is not the line, the arrow, basically the arrow we need to draw from 4 to 5. So I completed D. So next is E. E is after B and C. So if you see now here, so there are two activities that has to be completed beforehand to start E. Okay, so B and C should be completed. So if you see, B is on one side, C is on one side. Okay, it's a kind of a V, right, that is happening over there. So B is going on the top and C is coming at the bottom, but after completion of both only I can draw E. So here, to remove that confusion, so we are drawing a dummy. Okay, we are drawing a dummy here. So you can see dummy also I have written, there's a dotted line that is going from 4 to 3. Okay, arrow is from 4 to 3, and always the arrow head shows from where it has started and where it is ending. Okay, see the arrow, so just don't draw the line, you need to draw the proper arrow. Okay, the arrow head mentions where it starts and where it ends, in the sense that tail shows that where it is starting, and the arrow head shows where it is going and where it is ending, basically. Okay, so now if you see D, it is starting at 4 and it is ending at 5. Okay, starting at 4, ending at 5, and the arrowhead shows it is moving from 4 to 5. So D is done. E, if you see B and C, so the dummy is already drawn here. Okay, so why? Because D is already here. Okay, so D is already here, so it will be bit complicated. I can draw it on the opposite side also, like the arrow for 4 to 3 could be at 4 also. Okay, I can draw like that also, but it could be a bit complicated. So instead of that, what I'm doing, I'm taking an dummy from 4 to 3. 4 to 3, then after that I'm drawing E. So E is here, so E I have drawn after the node 3. Okay, if you see in the node 3 here on top, then from there I am drawing E, and the duration is 7. In the bracket it is already given as 7. Okay, so this is a dummy here, this is a line, dotted line, dash dash dash. Okay, so always remember that dummy is a dash 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 line. Okay, or a dotted line. So it will just tell me that it is this particular E is after B and C. Okay, so after E, I am having F. F is after D and E. Okay, so again D and D are on opposite side. D and D are on opposite side. You can draw a dummy also. So you can draw a dummy here after 5. You can draw a dummy. Instead of that, if you see, I can draw, okay, the D and E are joining, sorry, not joining. So after E and D, so the F is between, it is crossing from 6 to 5. So you can see this particular line 6 to 5, it is crossing. Okay, so it is crossing from 6 to 5, and the arrowhead is showing that this particular activity is F is moving from 6 to 5. So if you see this, can you tell me this F, okay, is after D and E? Okay, so that's why it is drawn bit further. So you can draw a line like this, you can draw a dummy like this after D. Okay, after D I can draw a dummy like this. Okay, if you, for your understanding, or towards this side, then I can draw an F. Okay, so slight changes would be there. Okay, but even that is also correct. Okay, even that is correct, but complication will increase. So why to increase that particular complication? So we are drawing this. Okay, I'll remove that dotted line here. Okay, so this is the F which is after D and E. Then comes G. G is after E. So E is ending at 6. So G will start at 6 and end at 7. So and the duration is 2. So that is G at 2. Then H is after G. Where is G? G is after 7. So I'll draw just like that. I'll draw here. So this is H. Okay, this is H. Then I is after D and F. Where is I? I is here. D and F is here. 2, which is already done. This is F. This is D. After this, I am drawing an I. Okay, instead of joining it, I'll draw it again here. So I'll draw I here. So I have already written here. So this is one more thing. So, but next, if you see, next is J. J is what? After I and H. So I is here, H is here. So again, instead of drawing a dotted line like this here, then taking the next one, that is J, even this could be done. There is no wrong. Okay, this also is correct only. Okay, so instead of this, what I'll do, instead of this dotted line to draw here a dummy, what I'll do, I'll join these two circles. That is this circle and this circle, I'll join and I'll bring it at 8. Okay, I'll erase this now. So H is not there now here. No dummy. Okay, so I'll remove all these things. Okay, and I am basically what I am doing, I am joining both the arrow from 7 and 8 and 5 and 8, because my next J will start at 8, which is after H and I. So if you see here, H and I is there. After H and I only J is there. So after H and I need to draw J. So where is H and I ending? Now if you see, H and I is ending at 8 only. H and I is ending at 8. So after 8 I have to draw 9, or the activity J. The activity J will start at 8 and end at 9, and the duration is 10. Okay, then last one K. K is after J. So again one more line. So this ends my total network diagram. So again, one more important thing, when you finish your the network diagram should start at one node and end at only one node itself. So if you see, 1 is the first node, your network diagram is starting from 1 and it is ending at 10. Okay, so instead, see, if you see, there are problems which says only there is a dash at A. If you see on top here at this particular table, only A is having a dash. So there are chances that even B will be having a dash, C will be having a dash. So at that time, what will happen? 1. So this is your A. This will be your B, like this, B, and this will be my C. So this thing also can be there. There could be a dash here, there could be a dash here. That means at the same time, there are 3 activities that are starting at the beginning itself. But make sure that it starts at only one thing. Okay, then there will be certain things here. Okay, then it will go like this, then here, then it may go and meet here. Okay, something like this, and at the end, if you see, there will be only one node. Okay, or there could be something like this, it could go and come meet here, and instead of this meeting here, it may go and meet here. But if you see, there is a merge event at the end here. There is a merge event that is going on here, but if you see, there is only one node at the end, and there is a burst event here at 1. There is a burst event at 1, but there is only one node. There are three activities that are going out, and at the end here, three activities that are coming and meeting. So this is just an example what I gave you. So there are sums like this also, where they will start multiple activities at the beginning only, or they'll end multiple activities at one node at the end itself. So I'll just remove all of it. Okay, those who have not copied, just copy. Okay, the same thing. So practice only will make you perfect here, or make you understand, right? So this is one kind of the problem here, where abcdefg activity is given. Okay, there is one more type of problem where nodes are given directly. So this 1 to 2, 2 to 3 will be given, so that is very easy. So when I solve that, you'll get to. So the next problem is like that. So this particular thing is the main thing where you are getting confused, where you need to remember activity is an arrow which starts at a node, ends at a node, and a network diagram starts from one node and ends at only one node itself. So these are the three things you can note down there. Okay, an activity is an arrow which starts from one node and ends at one node, and a network diagram starts at only one node and ends at only one node. So this is very, very much important. If you remember this, you will not go wrong. In the examination, we have seen many students, like they'll start at one node and they'll never end it at one node. They'll leave some activities in between. You cannot do that. You need to end it. Okay. So this is how a network diagram is drawn. So for your reference, I'll show you the next here. Next, draw the network diagram. If you see, the name activity is given here and activity node is given. So A is between 1 and 2. So what do we need to do? A is between 1 and 2. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is A. Okay, next if you see, B is from 1 to 3. Okay, so B will be this. So 1, 2, 3. So this is very easy actually. So what students do is they just go through this and they'll never go through this precedence thing. Okay, so if you are not going through precedence, okay, many a times precedence problems only are asked. And when you don't go through this, and if you don't remember those 3 points, that is, A activity is always an arrow. So if you see here, activity node they have given and not the activity. So activity is here, activity is A, which is between 1 to 2. So this is 1 and this is 2. So something like this you need to draw always. Okay. So practice this a lot. Okay, too much of practice is required for this, how to draw and all. So practice a lot. If any doubts again in the next class, okay, or in the next sum, we'll see like how we basically did this again. Okay, so these are the two kinds of sums, and the second sum we'll look at it in the next class. So we'll stop for the day. So any doubts? Okay, so first try it. Okay, first try, then if you are further having any doubts, then we'll look at it, how we are basically drawing this. Okay, or any doubts that you have while drawing this, we'll come to that and we'll basically solve that particular problem. Okay, students.